Hey!
Hello, everyone!
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for celebrating with us. I have 3D glasses on and I'm trying to drink and I'm like, oh, this.
A very big glass.
So we've got the whole crew with us here tonight. We've got the 3 munchkins and the head munchkin in the back, Jenna. She has been hauling it, just filling orders, packing boxes.
99 boxes today with the help of this crew.
Oh my
99
gosh.
boxes.
That's amazing.
It's like a song, 99 boxes of books in the garage.
Last shout outs to Jenna here.
She was up late last night. It's been out of control. So thank you to all of you who have pre-ordered and have already made this a great success. But yeah, we're like Ginny's glasses.
Thanks so much for being here, everybody. I see some really familiar names: Kathy Rose, Ashley, Deb, Tara, Steven.
I need to take these off. So
I know it's really messy.
Read what's going on.
Yeah, so let's do the toast. So
yes.
we can go ahead, Jay.
Here's to the end of one journey and beginning of many more, and hope that we all have a chance of awesome in the year ahead.
Here, here.
Here. Cheers.
All right.
See you with new eyes.
Woo, that's strong.
It's good stuff.
All right. Thanks.
All right.
For
99 more boxes. Here I go. Go, Jenny, go.
Get to work.
Oh, Ben gave a little. Oh yeah. Oh, see, Ben. Okay, let's clarify.
It's Ben's first taste
Let's
of
clarify.
alcohol.
No, this is apple juice. Thanks to Kim Stampa McMillan, who is our newly recent neighbor, moved in up the street and dropped off some sparkling apple juice for the kids for tonight's toast. So that and some dessert.
We were just gonna do blue Kool-Aid, but this is better.
Is this better than blue Kool-Aid?
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you get real glasses, so that's good. They're not exactly champagne glasses, but that's all right. See with new eyes, right?
Kathy Rose is toasting with water. Whatever you got, that works. Virtual cheers. All right. Well, we've got a lot of stuff that we want to cover tonight, and we are hoping to get some of you on video with us. Anyone that's interested. We've done that in the past where we brought in a video guest and had the chat because we just want this to be a fun night for all of you guys. And that's why we're also sharing some of our favorite tips from the book. So hopefully that will.
Why the 3D glasses? You want to explain that?
That's a good question. Bit? Well, this is a little behind the scenes thing. There are a few of you who probably already received the book. Some of you I know were at the Escape Adulthood Summit. And that was one of our surprises, as we gave everyone who attended the summit a few books as a special sneak peek before the launch day. But one of the pieces of artwork in the book is fairly new. Is this panda with the 3D glasses? And this page is actually designed to work with 3D glasses. Like if you look at this with 3D glasses,
how did you know how to do that?
I Googled it. Yeah, there was a way to do it in Photoshop. So it's not. I mean, I was kind of secretly hoping that the panda would be like, and it doesn't do that.
It was a little less exciting,
but it does look like it's coming out at you. And
it's definitely 3D.
That's probably the main reason why you want to pre-order, because everyone who pre-orders the book gets a free pair of 3D glasses in the box so that you can see that. So this whole book is about seeing with new eyes and how it can change everything. That sometimes when we're stuck in life and we're in a rut, just reframing the way we look at things surprisingly can make all the difference in the world. And so this book covers a lot of examples of that in my own life, different ways to look at things and challenges that we encounter. And I'm really excited for all of you to see it because it's a culmination of a lot of things I've been talking and writing about over the last several years. And it's probably the lesson that I have needed to learn the most over the last 20 years is
especially
how you look at things makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And especially when you're fighting adultitis.
Yes, for sure. I got a chance, of course, to go through the book before it hit the printer. Jason I was not the editor. You do not want me to be an editor. I'm like the worst speller ever.
You proofread, but I didn't depend on you.
No. I proofread for like, you know, just those things that everybody looked at and didn't notice kind of thing, and just an outside view. But it was one of those when I was going through it back in January, maybe, I remember being like, oh my gosh, this story has not been in a book yet. This story has not been in a book yet, you know? So it's been 4 years since Penguins came out. And we brought him along too, Marty, because, you know, poor Marty's.
He's still loved,
You know?
still loved.
But like how many stories Jason's been telling on stage and, you know, in the blog and things like that are finally in print. So
Yes.
it's a pretty big celebration.
Many of you have heard me tell the story about my dad dressing up as a bee to tell us he had cancer. So
The bee story.
fun fact, if you've never heard that story, that is in here, along with the picture of him and my mom as a bee.
It's
and
finally
beekeeper.
in print, you know? So it's one of those, and like at Wonder Night this past year, everybody got bee pins and Walt was there to tell the story, which was pretty special. But it is one of those things of like, this story has not been in print. Get this in print. So finally, it's pretty exciting. So
Yes.
you're reading some of the comments, it looks like.
I'm
Yes.
distracted.
Okay.
Anytime you're talking, I
This
just
is what I
zone
yeah.
out, whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So yeah, did you say about the stained glass window?
No.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
some of you may have heard the
You
story.
can kind of see the
Yeah,
window.
you can kind of see it right
See.
above my head here.
Is it bad to turn the camera a little bit?
Right up there.
All right, you don't know how to
Yeah,
point.
right there. It's not actually the picture in our book is better, but
Yes.
yeah, we had an interesting story last year after we came home from Mexico, where our window was shot with bullets.
Yeah.
So that was also fun, and
This is the full view of the window now. So the ultimate making lemonade out of lemons, but it's got a lot of different twists, that story. So
Yeah.
so that again is like that needs to be in print. So pretty exciting.
so let me share one of the tips. One of my favorite things from the book. This is something I've talked about before. Actually, this is an excerpt that is going to be in the Insider this weekend. I've been doing some of my favorite passages from the book, and it's the idea of must be nice. And you know how must be nice works, right?
Oh yeah. I
it's-
just heard
it's-
someone do this naturally the other day.
Must be nice, right?
Yeah.
Like it's our backhanded way of showing our jealousy. We
Yeah.
act like it's not, but it's like,
It's
you know, it's like,
passive-aggressive.
oh, like
Must be nice.
he's a great
got-
carpenter and has handcrafted wood, like create these bedroom set and dressers, like must be nice, you know? Like whatever we're jealous of someone else, we say must be nice.
Mhm.
And I saw that firsthand myself big time as a professional speaker, because in the summertime they have the national convention, and I have gone to many of the conferences, and it's really hard when you're sitting in a room filled with professional speakers watching some of the best professional speakers on stage and not say must be nice. Like, oh, he's a 7 foot tall former NBA player who played with Michael Jordan. Of course people want to hire him to speak. Must be nice, right? Oh, she's a Fortune 500 CEO with all these contacts and these big wigs. Must be nice. Oh, this guy's doing backflips and juggling fire. Must be nice, right?
As a
And,
kid that just was born doing that. You know?
And it was like one day while I was sitting there in the darkness of the theater or the conference center, it occurred to me that here I had this artistic talent that I had not even really implemented into my speaking offerings. And I sat there thinking, that's kind of dumb. And I imagined like 10 years from now, like someone looking at my speeches and my slides and all the stuff and incorporating the art and saying like, oh, well, he's such a good artist, you can use his art, must be nice. And
Like,
yeah, it is.
It better be.
Here's the most important part about this is that when it's a total waste of time to worry and complain about someone else's must be nice. Instead, figure out what your must be nice is, because we all have one. And here's the thing. Most of the time we take our must be nice for granted, because it might be a talent that comes easy to us. It's easy to take for granted the things that are must be nices, but it's our job to figure out what it is and take advantage of it, however that is.
You just saw one of our must be nices, Jenna. Many speakers and other small business professionals that we know, especially husband and wife crews that have kids and trying to do the balance. They're like, oh, must be nice to have Jenna, who not only can help with your business growth and development, but also help with your kids. Yeah, must be nice.
It is a total must be nice, and we appreciate it, and that's the job. Like, she's a must be nice for me. She manages all the travel and scheduling and all the contracts and stuff. And there are speaker friends who I'm sure are insanely jealous of me because they wish they had a Kim. And yeah, it is one heck of a must be nice. So instead of worrying about what everyone else's must be nice is, figure out what yours is and take advantage of it, because that's why you have it. So
Melissa Lefevre, hi, thanks for joining us. And
Hey,
she
Melissa.
just used her mug, her must be nice mug, the other day. Several years ago when the kids were little, we did a escape lab. This was like a tinker project for us where we did this little kind of course, and we ordered mugs that said must be nice. And there are still a few hanging on out there at Melissa's
we have
house.
a few in our cupboard. They slowly, the handles have broken, but we've got a few left. Kathy Rose said you did the work for your must be nices, and that's very nice of you to say. But it's true, and that's the whole point: is figure out what your must be nice is and work at it, get better at it, exploit it, use it, take advantage of it. And it may start out as something that is a blessing you didn't necessarily deserve. It might be a talent that you just have. But unless you do something with it, you're kind of wasting it. So that's kind of the big
people
key.
are shouting out here that they want another escape lab.
Oh, that was pretty fun. That was pretty fun.
Christy, I know there's a lot of people who want to come to the summits or Wonder Nights, and just there's a lot of reasons why people can't, and we get that. So the lab is a creative option. So that's good to hear your feedback, because it's always tinkering, in the background.
See, Steve Arnold is here from Houston,
Steve.
Texas. How are you? I'm going to be heading in that direction tomorrow, actually. I have a speaking gig in Galveston, flying into Houston. So it's kind of a weird 2-city, 3-day, 3 flights and 3-day trip.
So he'll be at the Gulf of Mexico for like 2 seconds,
yeah.
and then he'll fly to Columbus, Ohio. So,
but here's the thing: we have a lot of prizes that we want to give out. We're going to give away at least one book. We have some prints we want to give out. We have some really cool things. One of the things I'm most excited about that we're giving out is gourmet donuts. We are going to ship you gourmet donuts from Donut Plant in New York City. It's one of the premier donut places, and we're gonna give that out at the end of the night. So make sure you stick with us till the end. Must be present to win. But for the first one, we talked about being must be nice.
Are the donuts gonna show up at their door like during the show?
No.
Okay.
Like in 2 days.
Okay.
3 days.
Wouldn't that be so cool if we could figure that out?
That's,
like Amazon
coming,
Prime
right?
to like the
Amazon
max.
and its drones.
Donuts are here. Right. If we pick the winner by the end of the show, the donuts are at their door. That'd be amazing.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I want to ask, what is your must be nice? Share your must be nice in the comments, and we are going to give a prize to someone. I don't know how.
Donut drone, Christy. I love it.
New donut.
Can you crochet the little like donut that goes with it?
It needs to be a real donut. Yeah. But maybe the crochet is like a little
to hold
basket.
it. That's what I'm picturing. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So what is your must be nice? Tell us what your must be nice is. We'd love to hear it. Meanwhile, what should we do next? You
want to talk about a little bit more behind the scenes stuff?
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing that was, you can kind of look at the must be nices and shout them out here as they come in. But
yeah, Tara, your business is definitely a must be nice.
Yeah,
as if you just woke up and that existed.
Yeah. Good thing that just randomly happened to you with no effort whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah. So one of the things that was interesting about this book was the editing process. So with Penguins, I had a professional editor. We worked with a traditional publisher. Michelle Grukowski is the best book agent in the world, and she got us that deal. And it was a great team that we worked with, and it was a really cool experience. And this book we decided to self-publish for a variety of reasons, but I knew I still needed a professional editor. So I somehow found the editor that one of my heroes, Seth Godin, who's a marketing guru.
When he says somehow, it's like Google stalking, right?
I don't remember. I had it in a note from somewhere, and I was like, this could be useful someday. But like, yeah, he's like, I love him. So I reached out to her, and her name was Catherine, and I said, hey, any chance you'd be open? And it just so happened she had like a project ending and another one not beginning, and so she said yes. So it was great, except that it was hard, you guys. Like, she really, like, this book was a lot more personal, even more so than Penguins was. And I really put a lot into it in terms of my personal, just a lot of guts and, you know, deep stuff. And she really challenged me on a lot of it. And it was hard at first, but it was ultimately awesome because it got me to be more mindful about the words I was using, why I was using them, how they would be received to other people who are reading the book, who don't know me. And it was really, really hard, but good. So I know a lot of people, they say that's the worst part is getting editing because it makes you feel bad that they see all your mistakes and they tell you what's wrong. And I think I've gotten over that to some point because I want it to be better. And I think with the process with Penguin, seeing these professional editors go through it and cut words out that I use too much and all this stuff, it like literally made the book 20 times better. So when I see the end version, it's worth it. And I think that's true for all of us. You know, like if you have a personal trainer or a life coach or accountability partner and they see the ugly stuff and the stuff that's not working and it's hard to hear it, but if you embrace it, take the gold from it, then you end up as a better person. And in this case, the book ended up way better. So
the wife version of this is that, you know,
unfiltered version.
She definitely gave him some things to think about that then we had to sit on the couch for hours and talk about of like, it was good though. It was good. But it got in his head a little bit. I'm like, do people really think that way, or how are they going to perceive this? That was the part where I said it was hard. Yeah. So I don't have a degree.
This is every time we do a thing, you're always got to be up in my face, like almost touching it, but not quite. And you're just like, why?
If anyone's seen the Lion King, the new Lion King, I'm that hyena.
It's just like when I'm talking and I just
I'm the hyena. I need to get close to you. Yeah, no, but I think I got like a bachelor's degree in psychology over this book because I got to sit with, you know, and hear and kind of analyze with him, which is good to have the outside, you know, spousal and best friend type of bouncing it off of. So it was definitely a process. Yeah. And the book is better for it. So.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have anyone that the must be nice question? What is your must be nice? Anybody?
You're not looking for a winner right now, are you?
Well, sure.
Because I thought they have to stay to the end.
Well, for all of them, like the donut one is going to be at the end.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
You can give them out at any time. I'm feeling
I might
generous.
be a little biased based on the last summit with the whole wild and free theme still in my blood. But Deb Buchanan mentioned that she gets to ride horses every day and talk about wild and free and it must be nice. I mean, our daughter would kill to be able to ride horses every day. And a part of me is like, Deb, are you from Wisconsin? I think you are. So we got to hook up with you.
So Deb is our official winner. Okay. So the first thing we're going to give away is a copy of the book. Now, Shocking. It's presumably possible that Deb already pre-ordered one. You get another one. So you can give it to whoever you want, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And if you didn't pre-order, then no, you don't have to. By the way, when I say pre-order, like you have till midnight tonight before the pre-order officially ends.
But what does that mean?
Tomorrow
I get
is
a little
the
confused
ending.
by that.
So pre-order. The thing about the pre-order is your book comes signed, and you have a chance to win that right there. We are giving away. That is not the original because I don't even own the original. There is someone who purchased the cover image, the painting, at Wonder Night 2 years ago, and she's like, it's like famous now because it's like the cover of a book. But we have this really cool reproduction that looks exactly. It's 20 by 20.
20 by 20,
which is the exact size of the original. And it looks exactly perfectly right with the colors. You can't even tell. It's awesome. So in order to have a chance to win that, you have to pre-order before tonight. Also, as I said, the pre-orders come with the little glasses. And we also have some other deals if you buy more, like Baker's Dozen and stuff like that. We're going to keep that going until they sell out, the little bonuses we have. But yeah, that's kind of the main.
So if you want it autographed.
Pre-ordering. Autographed and chance to win and yeah. So Okay, so Deb, congratulations. We will be in touch with you. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah.
So we remember.
Get your address. You can always just send us a message. Or if you, don't put your address in the comments.
No.
Unless you want everybody over at your house tomorrow to ride horses. But
okay, so here's a question. We have the ability, I believe, to take a watcher, viewer. If you are interested in being online to say what your must be nice is, or if you want to share anything, I guess. I don't really have a specific thing.
Horse parties.
Any comment on anything we've already talked about? You're welcome, Deb. Excuse me. Just leave a comment. Say like, oh, I'd love to be on, and we'll see if we can get you on.
Yeah.
Let's see. We do have a couple questions. I did notice that in the bottom of the screen, for those of you who have never been on Crowdcast before, there is a place where you can ask a question, and there looks like there are already 2 questions. So you just click on Ask a Question, then you can type it in. And what's sort of cool is that I can start answering it, and then people who are looking for that question, they'll automatically go to this part of the video. So let's start with Tara. Tara asks, what was your favorite chapter to write?
Good question.
Ooh, I don't know. That is a good question.
You probably wrote them like a year ago.
Yeah, I mean,
So
some of them,
like...
some of them have been written over many years. But there were other ones that were like new pieces. I think, I'm just like scanning through this here to give you an accurate.
He's not sure what's in the book.
I've never seen this before. My ghostwriter did all of this. You know, what I think was my favorite was the Shine On chapter, which is the second to last chapter. It is a story about our stained glass window. And the reason is because I hadn't really, I haven't talked that much about it publicly. And that was the one that really required a lot of questioning and editing of like, what am I trying to say here? What is the message that I want other people to get from this? And I think sometimes when I write, I can be a little bit lazy, and I'll say this, like you've joked about this, like my dad has this philosophy of Waltismness that is sort of like Norman Vincent Peale, positive thinking, old wives' tales,
Proverbs.
A little bit of Proverbs thrown in.
Yeah.
Like fortune cookies, and it's all jumbled together. And when he says it, we all know exactly what he means. And sometimes I say things like that as well. And when they come out of my mouth to someone who doesn't know me or know the language, it is like, really? What does that even? Do you really believe that? And it was like,
the editor asked a lot of good questions.
I don't actually believe that. I don't know why I said that. And so that it required me to be a little bit more mindful about the words I was using. So it was really fun to be able to tell that story, and it ties into the entire theme of the book so well. It's sort of like a crescendo of the end. So if I had to choose, I would say that is my
He actually
favorite.
went back to the blog and re-edited the post. Didn't you? At least you said you were going
Yeah,
to.
yeah, I did.
Yeah, re-edited the post about the Shine On story to reflect the chapter in the book, because it was made so much better through the editing process that you wanted to make it, stand out even better on the blog. So
yeah,
good question,
so
Tara.
I'm done answering that. And it looks like since we just talked to Tara, she is interested in being on video. So okay, I'm gonna push this thing that I think is gonna ask you to be on. Let's see if it works.
All right, Tara. That's good timing with your
Accepted
question and all.
connecting.
Let's see.
Hello.
Hey.
There she is.
Hi,
Tara.
girl.
Hey.
Whoa, what you got behind you? That angry eagle up there.
It's in our bedroom.
Oh wow, that's cool. It looks great. Did Roger like it?
Yeah, Roger loved it. Oh my God. Yeah. He so we look at it and we remember that we need to stay focused and stay determined with the chaos everywhere. So
awesome.
yeah, I just wanted to shout out and say one of the things that I loved most about the summit was the comfort zone. And when you step outside your comfort zone, it stays that big. So right after the summit, I got in touch with a couple of the girls that we were there with, and we've created this badass girls club. And so we're going to try things together. So I went to Boulder's gym and did mountain climbing. So
That's awesome. Was that your first time ever?
Yeah.
How'd it go?
I figure if I rappel down a building, I could probably go up about.
That's right. You did do that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You've been building up to this, Tara.
Yeah.
So how was it?
It was great. I loved it. Yeah, Krista and I did it together. So,
cool.
What else is on your list?
What's up?
What else is on the immediate list for you girls?
I'm creating, I'm following a gentleman that does something called 100 Things. So it's kind of like the regret me not list or the bucket list kind of idea, but it's like 100 things. But what's cool about it is that you make it public so that people can help you achieve them. So you make it public so that people can help you like meet the people you want to meet or do what you want to do. So I just started it. I only have about 22 things on it, but I still have to hold a spider by the end of the year. I held a snake at the summit.
Yeah.
Was that okay? So is that did you pick that, or is that like he has 100 things that everyone has to do?
No. Well, if anyone wants to do it with me, that would probably help a lot. No, I'm terrified.
As far as the spider idea, was that your idea?
Yes, because I'm terrified of it. So it's about overcoming a fear and showing my daughters that, at the end of comfort, at the end of, wait, I just posted it today. I forget it. Something like expanding your comfort. Pure bliss is at the end of your comfort zone, something like that. So,
nice.
Yeah, we'll see.
Cool.
Or if I can hold a snake, I can hold a spider.
There you go.
Right?
A spider.
Yeah. So Kathy Rose is asking, it's called 100 Things, or how do we find it, Tara?
If you just Google search hashtag 100 Things, you'll find this gentleman, and I can try to find it and put it in the comments as well. But I believe he's out of Australia. So he's kind of got a great accent to listen to too, but
bonus, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's pretty fun.
I love the concept of having other people help you. We put our bucket lists online like 5 or 6 years ago, and like every once in a while, Jason will show up at a gig, and the meeting planner will have done something from his bucket list, and it's just like kind of blows your mind how people are like so happy to help.
Yeah, that is a cool idea.
I think it's in our nature to try to help each other achieve goals. You know, and do something that's, there's just even in the Escape Adulthood Summit, there is like a wealth of like tribal knowledge of people who've done things. Like Krista has all the equipment to do this rock climbing thing. She'd really never even used it. And I was like, I'll go with you. So you can rent everything. It was $20 for 3 hours of climbing. It was so cheap too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
And how much it is easier when you're borrowing courage from each other too, It's like, well, she already bought the equipment. It can't be that hard, you know?
Well, Jason, didn't you say that, or somebody said that a woman who had 6 children still found time to mountain climb or to climb every morning?
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I only have 3, so I should be able to make it work.
That's awesome, Tara.
Very cool. Well, thank you, Tara. Thanks for coming on, and
thanks for your question too.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Tara. Yeah, that idea of your comfort zone, I had to learn that because I was really shy growing up and scared of everything. And I didn't eventually learn that when you take one step out of your comfort zone stays that big for the rest of your life. So, and then just make little baby steps. And after a while, you're like, well, I think we have done all these things. So, looks like Tara just shared the link in the comments. Thank you. So that's awesome. Yeah, so let's see. Okay, next little tip. So this one actually reminds me of the cover, the image on the cover, and the whole idea of sprinkles raining down. And the idea is that sometimes we have monsoons that come to our life, with like bad things that happen and frustrating things and plans that go awry. And the question is, again, reframing, how can we look at that in a positive way? And one of the things that you and I have done is especially when things go sideways, is asking, now that this is happening, what does this mean? And you sort of turn it into a theme that when something bad happens, you usually don't see anything good. You're contemplating that. So the game is sort of like, what good things can come of this because this happened? The story that I talked about in the book that we got on the basement, it wasn't a music, but Okay,
Is that any better?
we're back
Charlie
again. Does
Brown's
anyone?
teacher.
That's better.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yay. Thanks for letting us know.
Yes,
We're
thank
gonna
you.
blah 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 forever. Look at
All
all the
right,
yeses.
so okay, good.
Yay!
I don't know why I didn't really do. I didn't do anything. I mean, I guess I did, but it didn't seem like it should have done
Look
anything.
at all this yays. That's so great.
Okay, so where was I? What got garbled?
Well, you were probably starting to
I was talking
say
about the
we make it a game that if something bad happens, that we try to figure out what does this make possible.
yeah. So when we got our basement got flooded a few years ago, we got it fixed. We got the crack repaired. There was mold, all this stuff, and our basement was basically torn up, and it was just a mess. And we had to live in it for about 2 or 3 months because I think we were preparing for the summit. We had stuff going on.
Yeah.
And we basically finally got to a point where it was like, well, okay, this sucks, but what does it make possible? And so what we did was redid the basement. We instead of putting carpet down, we did this cool epoxy flooring. We set up a studio in one corner for me. We set up an office in the other corner for Kim. We created a sitting area in front of this fireplace that we had never used before.
Mhm.
And now it's probably our favorite room in the entire house.
Yeah.
All because we got out of our pity party and said, okay, what does this now make possible? So the idea of anytime unexpected storm rolls through your life, to ask that question, now that this has happened, what does this make possible, is a really good habit to foster. And it's not easy. In fact, I'm not going to go into it here, but in the book, one of the stories is when I sold one of my very first paintings and it fell. This was at the Escape Adulthood Summit, and a hole got ripped into it, and that was not a good day. But the story was how it got redeemed, and so that was another example.
I see Kathy Rose says her basement's all torn up right now. She's hoping, and I'm thankful it will help my health. So, it's just trying to look at what's the good that's gonna come from this. And let's be honest, the first part, you're not seeing it.
No,
right?
That's not good.
That ranges depending on the severity of how, challenging the situation is, of how long you're going to kind of have to grovel and have a little tantrum for a little bit. But we're getting better at picking
the more you practice, the better you get. And when you see results, you're like, well, something good happened the last time I asked it. And that's the thing. That's kind of the premise of this book, is that the people who see miracles, the people who see silver linings, are the ones who are looking for them. If you're only looking at the negative, if you're only looking at the problem, guess what? That's all you're going to see is more negative, be depressed. And so it's not easy, but again, it's sort of like a muscle that if you can shift it to look at the bright side, to look for the silver lining, that's how you find it, is you have to look for it.
And Kathy Rose is going to make a watercolor studio in her basement.
Ooh, that's awesome.
So we'll have to come visit. That would be awesome to come see.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kathy Rose says, when you are 64, you will still be practicing. And I fully believe that. So yeah, it's true.
Awesome. Cool comments here, guys. Thanks for chiming in. All right. Should we go to another prize?
Yes. Does anyone else want to chime in? Because I'll give a prize to someone who wants to
be on.
Chime in.
I know Steven mentioned your phone. I don't know if phones will have the bandwidth.
I think it needs to be like a
landline
browser
or whatever that,
Yeah.
So thank you for offering there.
And Ryan is there. Hey, Ryan, I see you.
Yeah.
See, this is the romp room. Hey, Christine. Hey, Sabrina. All of you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for being
here. Does anyone currently want to jump on screen with us like Tara so bravely did? I know people have moments that they think
I wasn't planning. I'm just lurking. I wasn't planning to be on.
Yeah.
So if you want to, let us know. Let's just do this real quick, because this kind of fits.
Oh yeah, Angela did mention it earlier. Thank you, Angela. You want to try it?
Yeah, we can try it, Angela.
All right. And then we'll check the sound after. Just hang in there with us. We'll see. All right, Angela.
All right, we'll see. Let's see. Oh, it says incompatible. I have no idea what that means.
She did wonder. She said something about iOS or something.
Yeah, it may be. I think you have to be on Chrome, and that's just what the Crowdcast people said.
Okay.
So that it doesn't look like it's going to work. But if anyone else wants to jump in there,
Sorry, Angela. Thank you for trying.
we're testing this. This is our fifth
Yeah, I guess
one,
that's
so
good
we're
to
still
know. If
always
you're
trying.
using Chrome as your internet browser, then that might be a good
Yes. Okay. Do we want to try Steven?
Should we try Steven? We'll give it a try. If you're on Chrome,
We'll
that
see.
might,
Maybe it'll work.
Okay. Steven's out in Seattle. He just got home after the summit. And I think he said he went to Montana after the summit, if I'm remembering correctly. So he's
All right.
been.
Looks like he is accepted and is connecting. Hopefully he'll be up here.
I think he also said he's been in 7 states in the last few days. Oh, man.
All right. We'll see.
Ooh,
It
loading,
says
loading.
accepted and connecting. I'm not sure if it's working. We'll see if he pops up. Trying to look at what else we want to talk about. Yeah. So okay. So here we go.
There you
Hey,
go.
Steven.
Hey, bud.
Hi,
How are
How
you?
are you?
good.
Good.
So is it true that you have been in what 7 states? Is that what Kim said?
Yeah, 7.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Do you have a must be nice you'd like to share with us?
I was in 7 states.
That's pretty good.
You're seeing the world, right?
Especially if you're on purpose, right? It's like if you're 7 states and you weren't planning it, that would be bad.
Yeah, I officially visited 2,
Okay. Was it
but
Montana?
went through several others. What?
Montana for the family reunion?
Yeah,
Okay. Nice.
so that was fun. I went there after the summit.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Made a whole adventure out of it, huh?
Yeah,
And did you have delays getting home from the summit? Uh-oh.
Yeah, he went to Montana.
I was thinking
So-
I saw something.
funny story. I got to Denver on the way home to Seattle. When I got to my to the gate where I was supposed to transfer,
Oh, yeah.
the gate said London.
Okay.
I'm like, wow, that sounds fun. And so I posted on Facebook I was going to London. I said they spelled Seattle wrong.
I knew there was something with the gate.
And then, so I waited a while and found out they had switched gates. So I went to the new gate and it said Houston.
Oh.
Also
So
spelled
then I
different.
posted on Facebook I was going to Houston.
Very cool.
You're not counting
That
all
was
this as your
a-
7 states, are
Yeah,
you?
yeah. He's like, oh,
No, I'm not. Anyway, I figured most people would be really frustrated, and I was a bit, but
Yeah. You let it roll.
so
thou
you
shalt be frustrated is not a rule.
That's right.
Mhm.
You got the book at the summit, so I know you already have it. What is your initial thought about the new book?
So I haven't
This is kind of risky.
I know. He's like,
had
I
a chance to look at it yet,
Not as good as
but I'm excited to look at it.
okay.
he left it in London.
I
London.
also allegedly went to Washington, D.C.,
Oh, no.
Wow.
which I
Well,
also
then
did
you're
not
gonna
count
go
among my
there for
7
sure.
states.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for being on and being brave enough to be on. And so we have a little prize for you, Stephen. We have I don't know if you already have this.
Do you have the weeds print?
Weeds or wishes.
I don't.
You don't. All right.
Okay.
This is coming to Seattle. This is coming to you. It's signed. This is also one of the big theme images from the book is about the idea of like, kids look at this and they see dandelion or wishes. No. Adults see dandelions as weeds and then kids, they see wishes. So thank you, Stephen.
Awesome.
For,
Thank you.
all of your support and
Yeah.
for jumping on with us. We will talk to you later.
Thanks, Steven.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Now,
Okay, now the sound, you guys. Is it working?
can you hear us?
Let's see. Can you guys hear us? Yes,
Can
yes,
you hear us?
yes.
It's good. Okay.
Yay,
So
okay.
it was just that evil Tara
Oh,
who messed
yeah.
everything up. Sabrina says, I see that image every day
Ah.
because I stand outside her window holding it up.
Oh, that's
she must
creepy.
have better. She must have
Say
she must
anything?
have the print or a
Ah,
mug or a pillow or something.
yeah.
Okay,
All right.
so we want to move along. We got some more prizes. We got some more tips we want to share. One of the other tips that is, this kind of goes with what we were just talking about, but there's a chapter in the book.
She has a pillow.
Oh, the pillow.
Okay.
I thought maybe. I was like, yeah, there's a pillow. One of the chapters in the book has Space Invaders. It's got a painting of Space Invaders, which some of you of a certain age would know Atari
Mhm.
and know this game where there's these aliens that descend down the screen and you shoot them and then they go down faster and faster and faster. It's towards the beginning.
Is that?
Yeah.
Is there a song that goes to this game?
Not like Super Mario Brothers.
Like that?
Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
thing. So
Mhm.
I realized that fighting adultitis is sort of like that game. That you're all like, adultitis is always coming, invading our space. And even if you do a really good job, the next day they're going to start coming down again. And so I figured if that's how it is for adultitis, and Space Invaders always really enjoyed, why not make a game out of fighting adultitis? So adultitis does its best work when it's in the shadows. It keeps us angry and frustrated and sort of in our own little bubble. But when we can laugh at it and turn it into a game to turn that frown upside down, it makes a big difference. And so we as a family here around this kitchen table oftentimes will call each other out on adultitis, and it may necessitate a dance party in the kitchen, or we go for a pajama run if we're in a particularly grumpy mood. And it's amazing how when you look at it as a game, that helps automatically diffuse adultitis. And the cool thing about looking at it as a game, particularly this game, is that if you have a day where adultitis beats you, the good news is that tomorrow is the reset button and you can start again tomorrow. So to not let yourself get bogged down by it, because we all fail, we all mess up, we all say things we wish we wouldn't have. And so being able to like look at it as a game and say, oh, beat me today, adultitis, but tomorrow you're going down, is another good attitude to practice.
Good example is that apparently after Tara came to visit us on screen, she got kicked off of this chat.
Oh,
and just now got back on. So welcome back, Tara. And she persisted back. And again, like looking at it as like, you know, she could have just went to bed and been like, all right, you know, I'm out of here. But persisting through.
Persist, yes. So, okay, so along those lines, here is another little prize we're gonna give away. So this is cool. This is a little mini canvas, and it's got a little stand-up thing. It's of the panda, and this is actually one of the prizes or the bonuses you get when you order a baker's dozen. So if you order 12 books, you get a free book.
Hence the baker's dozen.
The baker's dozen, and then you get, you know, there's like a little donut keychain you get, and then you get to pick out one of these little mini canvases. So we have an extra panda one that we are going to give out here tonight. And in order to win this, you have to share in the comments what is something fun that you do to fight adultitis when it has the upper hand. All right, what's kind of like your go-to when you're in the funk that you do that's fun, that kind of like does it for you. So just share it in the little comment on the side. Meanwhile, we got a couple more questions here at the bottom.
Look at them all.
All right, you keep an eye on those, Kim.
Okay.
That'll be really hard to choose.
Okay.
Okay, let's do Ashley. Okay, Ashley, thank you for the question. You asked, what is your favorite piece of art in the book?
Ooh.
You're making this. That's like, what's your favorite kid? You know? Definitely not Ben.
I was gonna say Ben.
It's funny. It's funny when parents say that because it's true. No. Let me see real quick. I do have favorite. I do have ones that are like,
I like looking at your
not my favorite
answers here. We got corny jokes, silly songs.
This is like great dead time, isn't it?
Play on a swing set or go to the park. These are good ones.
Favorite art in the book. Actually, I think I know what it.
I'm curious what you're gonna pick. Oh, that's not that one.
I don't know. I don't. Oh, here it is. I'd say this one. Okay.
Ooh,
This
yeah.
one. All right.
It's hard because of that. Yeah.
This is called Enjoy the Ride. This is actually the art that is it's the very last chapter of the book. And the original is currently hanging in our bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And it was inspired by a vacation to Mexico and the Day of the Dead celebration that they have. And just the premise of it is, again, it's all about how do we see things. That sometimes when we're in the middle of life and we're in the day-to-day struggle, it's hard to see what's good. It's hard to see anything positive sometimes. And I think borrowing on the Day of the Dead idea that like if we were to poll our ancestors who have gone before us, they're beyond us and they can see the whole picture. They see the ups and the downs, and they see that all of this is leading towards something good, and that the valleys lead to mountaintops. And the idea is that the advice they'd give us is to enjoy the ride. It's like a roller coaster, the ups and the downs. And I went to Legoland with Ben recently for a speaking engagement, and we went on a couple roller coasters, and he said he only likes the ups. And I was sort of like, yeah, join the club. Everyone likes the ups. Everyone likes the mountaintop views. So he would love to have some sort of a roller coaster where there are no downs.
How does that work?
Which doesn't work. But for those of you who love roller coasters, you would probably say the downs are the favorite part, right? Because it's like just terrifying and awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thank you, Ashley, for asking. Probably that one, although it's a lot. The one on the cover, the donuts, that's a sentimental favorite. That was one of the earliest oil paintings that I did. So there's a lot of favorites, but I'll go with Enjoy the Ride tonight.
Jody totally articulated kind of what I was thinking in my head, but I didn't get a clear thought with it. The roller coaster to heaven that is all ups.
Yeah.
You know? So that's awesome. Very cool. And Jody also said she's looking forward to getting her panda because she ordered a big panda canvas, her and Tom, going to head down to Utah.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's on its way.
Yes.
I know Jenna's been busy getting everything. We had to place some orders for things we didn't have in stock, and so she's got it all in process.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. So I got a follow-up question. Okay, follow-up question from Ashley. I'll answer this quick. She says, typically, does the story or the art come first? It's both, but typically the art usually comes first. It starts with a silly little sketch in my sketchbook, and that is usually what inspires me to go further on it. Sometimes I'll have a concept, so Kim wanted me to do a painting about kitchen dancing. And so that stuck with me for 2 years, and I was trying to think of a good
He doesn't
image.
like it when I give him ideas.
And it was hard because I had so many dumb ideas. And then finally I came up with something. But usually it works the other way, where I draw the image, I come up with a little sketch, and then the meaning kind of develops as I'm making it. Now there's a couple paintings I'm going to start working on now that I know exactly what the meaning is, and everything is it's like perfect storm. It's like, oh, this is a great image. I know exactly what this is going to be about, and maybe it'll change. But sometimes I don't even know what the meaning is until after the painting is completely
But like
done.
the cheetah, you did the
cheetah was a good example.
This is a good example of that.
Speed Racer, which is one I just introduced at the summit, is about a cheetah, and I made it, and Kim was like, what's that about? And I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. And it was actually something she said one day, that she said, well, it's interesting that it's a cheetah and it's sitting still, when a cheetah is normally known for running fast. And so I thought, yeah, and it hit me. It's like, yeah, it's about the cheetah is the fastest land animal, but it doesn't run all the time. And in fact, if it ran all the time, it would die because it needs time to rest. And it made me think about how we are the same. We need to rest. We need to take a time out, and we're really good at the hustle part, but we're not really good at the slowing down part. So so to answer the question, typically the art comes first, but not always. And sometimes the story doesn't come until much, much later.
And
All right.
Ashley, I'm glad to know I'm not the only wife whose husband doesn't like him to give her ideas or vice versa.
So, you know, sometimes people give me ideas and I appreciate it because they mean well, but sometimes it'll actually spur a whole different idea, which is, so in that way it's good. But I almost never take an idea that someone gives me. Well, it's automatic. You give me an idea, I'm never going to use it because it's just on principle. But
exactly.
Sometimes it will make me think of something else, and so then it can be useful, I guess.
So the first 7 years of our business, Jason was drawing a comic strip about childhood called Kim and Jason, as many of you know. And since I was teaching kindergarten for 5 years of that, everyone assumed that all of his ideas came from my classroom.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, no, I mean, in fact, the opposite. Like I could tell him an idea and he'd be like, yeah, I'm not using that, you know? So it's just how it goes.
All right, Kim, do we have a winner?
Who's the
winner of the...
It was hard. There were so many good ones. In fact, you know,
I'm glad you're doing this so that they can yell at you and not me.
I have to say this, maybe this is just my personal, like it reminded me of a childhood moment. So, but either way, the winner is Christy up in Minnesota.
Yeah.
She tapes up her nose, I'm assuming with Scotch tape, and then she pretends that nothing's wrong. So that is definitely a way to fight adultitis. And
I like that.
I mean,
like that.
Our little girl Ro was watching Pee Wee Herman the other day, and that's right. That's a classic Pee Wee thing. Like he just tape it up, and he would tape it serious, right? Like so that nose isn't going anywhere. And so, Christy, I appreciate that adults tape up their nose and act like nothing's wrong. That is a winner.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
All right. So we have.
What did she win? The panda.
She wins
okay, I forgot already. Yeah.
So we still have left to give away the pack of donuts.
Painter's tape, she says. Ooh. Okay, good to know.
There you go. So let's do this next tip. This one I'm going to let you cover. I'm sure you can talk about this real quick. This is the messes can sometimes make the best memories.
I think he lets me talk about this because I'm in the middle of messes all the time.
There's a specialty as a kindergarten teacher. You were good with that.
Yes. And we, people don't realize this, but like at this current state of our life, we have our business in our home. And so and our kids don't ever really leave because we have them here for, all day because we're homeschooling. So messes are our middle name. I mean, messes are just, but anyway, there was one particular story that we go back to that Jason talks about in the book. And we went down to the Union at UW here, Memorial Union Terrace, which is known as the living room of campus of UW Madison here. It's beautiful lakefront. And we took Lucy down there. She was about a little over a year. And it was the first time we decided to give her free reign of her chocolate ice cream cone. And it was just hot enough that you had to get
Zanzibar chocolate.
Zanzibar.
Which is like black.
It's
like black chocolate.
Like
much.
A brownie.
Yeah.
And so it was one of those, the day was just perfect. And we're like, just hand it to her. Just give it to her. We're not going to control this thing. And we sat there and watched her just like, what? I mean, her reaction, to this day, it just like gives me chills to see how much freedom she had in that moment to like, is this really happening? And she just devoured that thing. And as we just watched her shirt get more and more trashed. People were stopping and kind of pointing and looking at her and because she had chocolate everywhere. And as you say in your speaking programs, as I've heard you say, what do you say about the shirt?
It was lost. Yeah, we debated, because if we were losing the shirt, it was like so stained, and it went to shirt heaven.
Shirt heaven, yes. Yeah, I knew there was a line for that.
But looking back, we'd rather have the memory than the shirt.
Right.
And there was no stain stick in the world that was going to fix that shirt at the end of it.
No.
Yeah.
But the concept of like, okay, so we could have had the whole adultitis moment. We're like, oh, keep control of that. Let's do the spoon, da-da-da. But all the memories that we made in that moment are so cherished and you can never take that back. And the cool thing about memories is that as they progress in time, they become richer. So even the moment wasn't as rich in the moment as the memory is today. And I think that messes provide the best memories. So that's just a quick example from the book, but it just encourages us all to look at those moments of like, okay, here's a choice. I'm going to make a choice right now. Are we really throwing paint on each other? Are we really
throwing tortillas across the room?
Right. Are we
tortilla frisbee?
Right. Or are we going to just say, it's too messy? So that's a good challenge for all of us as adults.
Yeah. Jane says that she says, my store is only half toy store. The other half is a teacher supply store. Very busy. She says they're also a homeschooling family for 10 years. Just graduated, my first homeschool graduate. Read a children's book to her at our little family graduation ceremony. That's really cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome. 10 years. That's really cool.
That's great.
I was going to say something and I totally forgot.
Oh my gosh. Tara says, every time we eat spaghetti, my girls want a barbarian, which we did at our first summit. And still trying to figure out the logistics of that. We might need a new venue to do that in the future. But yes, barbarian spaghetti, which for those of you who don't know is no plates, plastic tablecloth, spaghetti in the middle. You could even do no silverware if you're really getting crazy, but then you just throw it all away at the end.
Yeah, get that plastic tablecloth is the key to all of it. So
yeah.
Okay, there is one more question here that I can answer. Nick Adkins asked, do you have a favorite author or artist that you look to for inspiration? That is a good question. And yes, I have tons. I was actually just talking to someone about this when a lot of people, they wonder like, how do you get your style as an artist? And I think it goes along with that, because what you do is you start out looking at people that you're inspired by, and a lot of times you start out copying. So when I was in high school, I was a big fan of Drew Struzan, who is a poster artist who did the Star Wars posters and Back to the Future and Harry Potter. They're illustrated. And so a lot of my work in that was like bad knockoffs of Drew Struzan. But the key is if you get all kinds of inspiration and then you copy all of them and then you just keep doing it. And then after a while, it's sort of like you take all of these artists and you shake them up in a big bag. And then there's a part of you that goes in there. And then what comes out is like your style. And so for me, Drew Struzan is one, Norman Rockwell is one. I like a lot of children's book authors like Oliver Jeffers. Scott Campbell is another one. Always been a fan of the Impressionists. I'm trying to think. Oh, there's so many. Robert Jackson is a recent one that I've really been into. He's a still life painter, but he does a lot of whimsical things. So like if you were to look at like 20 of my inspirational, the ones I like the best, and shook them up or put them all in a thing, you'd be like, yeah, I could see that's Koteki. Like there's pieces of all of that. So yeah, those are the ones that come to mind. But when I was doing the comic strip, Bill Watterson, Charles Schultz, Dr. Seuss.
Who's that Rose guy that you like?
Pat Brady, who did Rose is Rose.
Rose.
There's a ton of them. So
yeah. And if you have kids in your life or just want to read children's books yourself, which is awesome, Oliver Jeffers, we can't highly recommend him enough. And I saw some of his stuff at Kohl's the other day for the Kohl's Cares. So he's making it big time. We knew him when.
Yeah. Never knew him.
No, but we've been fans for a long time. So it's pretty cool.
Okay, so I think it's about time. Is there anything else I want to make sure we say?
We got some.
I will say one of the things that you wanted me to mention, which I think is a good point, is so this came out in 2015.
Something like that.
So this is like 4 years. It took me 4 years to do this. This is ridiculous.
Doing it all this time. Yeah.
The good thing, this is heavier. This is like a little bit thicker. So that's why it took so long.
One more chapter.
But yeah, so the goal was I wanted them to be like in a series. So they're the same size, and I've got at least 2 more planned. That'll be sort of like I don't know what like a 4 version of a trilogy is, but whatever that is what I'm shooting for.
Do you want to tell people what the themes of the other ones are?
No, I'm not going to say that yet because it may change. But what's really cool, as I said, like Michelle Burkowski is the book agent who helped us get this. And what's neat about this is she has also been shopping this to other countries. She secured the North American rights for this. And so last year or the year before, we got the Korean version of this book.
So and they
even
like
read it.
they put like the translation of the art and stuff. Oh, that's a quote, by the way. Yeah. But yeah, you can kind of see under the hi-ho, like, it's hard to tell. But it's so cool to see how they translate the art. And
But the cool thing is we just got another one. This is going to be coming out in Taiwan now as well. So we're going, it'll be interesting to see how that looks different than the Korean version. But that's been pretty cool. And then the next project, I have a children's book in my head that I'm going to be working with Michelle with, and it has to do with Marty. And it all started with a question Kim asked of what's going on here? What is the story? Why does this guy have a balloon? Who are these people down below? And it inspired me to write a story that I think is really kind of cool. And I'm looking forward to bringing that to life.
He actually read it to me and Michelle out when we were out at dinner, and both of us were like, oh, like it just, we knew it was going to be good, but we didn't know it was going to be that good. So now it is a little motivating to get
now
that
it's
going.
Pressure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was going to say earlier about the messes, right? So the messes, if you are not in the Escape Adulthood League, which is our online community, is totally free, but it's a private online community where we talk and share questions and ideas and thoughts just like this. It's at escapeadulthood.me, M-E. But in the league the other day, I posted a really cool video someone sent me of their grandkids swinging on swings right above mud puddles. And they were just obliterating these mud puddles. It was the most glorious thing ever. But my props went out to the mom who let the kids do that, because sometimes we are so caught up in it's got to be clean and don't get messy that I love it when I see parents just give them the chocolate ice cream cone and go for it.
But the league's been real busy since the summit, which is really cool. A lot of people are posting their takeaways. And so if you haven't gotten in there, and it's not just for Summit alumni, it's for all of us, the tribe of Escape Adulthood. Join us in our journey on there.
Yeah, so we're going to, the last thing, we're just about at 9 o'clock. Want to make sure we're not keeping you guys up too late. Me. We are going to give away some donuts from Donut Plant. They will be delivered to your door. They have been named one of the best donut shops in the U.S. by Bon Appetit, USA Today, New York Times, Huffington Post. They were on Food Network's The Best Thing I Ever Ate. And what we're going to do here to win this, we're going to ask you in the comments, let us know what is one of the best memories you ever had that was messy, was like the classic mess that you were a part of that you still remember to this day. And as you are putting that in the comments, I'm going to share our last tip of the night. This comes from the book, and it is basically this, that anything worth building takes time. I know that sounds like a cliche, but when we live in a land of microwaves and Usain Bolt and seeing things on social media where we see people's highlights and it feels like everyone is succeeding all around you, that there really isn't such a thing as a overnight success. That usually the overnight successes have years and years and years of unseen, invisible work that led up to where they are now. We have been at this for 19 years, and many of the years were very anonymous, not intentionally. Many of the years and months were very ugly and sad and depressing. And I think the thing that kept me going all those through the dark times was just the idea that today could be the day. Today could be the day that I get a call from Oprah and I get to jump on her couch and it'll be great. And I've never been called by Oprah. I've never had a big break, but I've had a lot of really cool little breaks, and they've added up to a lot of stuff. And we've had a lot of neat things. We have a lot of cool people that have supported us. Every single one of you on this crowdcast right now are here. We appreciate this. I mean, if we would have done this 20 years ago, we'd have like 0 people, like just my mom and dad probably. And I'm not even sure if they're on here tonight.
No, they're not.
So,
they're not
which
here.
is just fine.
That tells us something.
Yeah. So this is all to say that, like, if you're working on something that matters, and it's not hitting yet, it's okay. Keep working, keep tinkering, keep getting better, keep trying new things. It will take time, probably more time than you wish it would, but when it gets off the ground, it's a beautiful sight to behold. And I think I needed that reminder a million times. I still need that reminder every once in a while, and I would imagine there's probably someone listening, watching here tonight that probably needs to hear that as well. So that is sort of our parting tip. All these little snippets come right from the book. Thank you to everyone who has pre-ordered, who is pre-ordering, who has spread the word, shared this book, this message with other people. But now the most important part, who is the winner? How are we deciding this?
They're so good. I'm like, reading them. I'm trying to read fast. Really I know. Ones. I think, and they're still coming in. So I apologize because we kind of wanted to keep this to an hour. But I think the winner has to be Nick Adkins. He said that he took a hose and filled his yard with water to make a big mud hole. And then he found like a bone, but it was actually a pipe. Oops. I know you guys have a couple boys and you're up watching tonight, you and Ashley, and I'm sure you could have some fun with some donuts. So that would be awesome to send them the donuts.
That's a good pick.
So thanks for staying up late with us there in Michigan. I know. There's so many good ones. I'm just like, that's such a good one. So thank you guys for sharing your messy stories. They're awesome.
You guys, it means so much to us that you are here. It means so much to us that you are on this journey with us. One last plug. Kim at the Escape Adulthood Summit did a really cool talk that we posted on our website and in the Escape Adulthood League. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. A lot of people are saying how much they got out of it and appreciated it, and it meant a lot to them. And one of the things that came from it is the idea. She shared this thing she does called a wonder hunt. And it's about something she does with her phone and her morning walks, and it is basically, finding wonder in her life again when times were a little bit more gray. And so we are working on a course, a community. It reminds me a little bit of what Tara said earlier about the 100 things of people supporting one another to find some of the magic in their life that maybe is currently hidden. And so if you are a Escape Adulthood insider, if you're on our email list, or if you are in the Escape Adulthood League, you will find out when that happens. You want to tell me a little bit more about that?
I'm going to creating a course right now that's going to be 3 weeks, 21 days. The whole 21-day habit thing is going to start on October 1st, and it's going to be live. So it'll be October 1st to 21st, and it'll be us sharing. I'm going to share kind of a challenge and some inspiration every day. And then everybody's going to jump in and try to take some cool photos and kind of share the experience, share the community with one another for those 21 days. And with, fall, the change of seasons, I think it's going to be a magical time to kind of renew our wonder. And I know fall can be really busy and stressful also, as a former teacher in the school system, and just the busyness of everything picking back up, board meetings, all of it. So we all kind of need a good excuse to find that wonder again amidst the busyness. So I hope you'll join us. It's going to be fun.
It's gonna be cool.
I can't wait.
Tara asked where that talk was. I just put a link to it in the chat there. But that's it. We're 8 minutes over, according to my MacBook Pro.
You Adkins need to get to bed in Michigan.
Yes. Thank you again to everyone who bought the book and has supported us. If you think about it and get a chance to post a review on Amazon or Goodreads, we'd super love that. But mostly just thank you for being here and celebrating with us. And I have one little sip left.
Yeah, not me. Well, one more.
Can't leave a drop behind. Thank you so much. Have a good night. God bless you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Be awesome.